The terminally ill woman with cancer never imagined that she would be betrayed by her most trusted husband and best friend, who pushed her off a building. The resentment in her final moments allowed her to miraculously reincarnate 10 years into the past. This time, she decisively pushed her scumbag husband into the arms of her best friend, orchestrating their marriage. When Misa first woke up, she found herself back in 2015, her body healthy, not yet married to the scumbag, and her best friend, Reina, still hiding her true nature. In the company elevator, the man who had killed her in her past life was trying to touch her hand, thinking he was being charming. Terrified, Misa rushed out of the elevator. After confirming she had truly returned to the past, she vengefully stormed into an izakaya and ordered 3 full meals, devouring them ravenously. Just then, Reina called to remind her about the new product launch meeting. Misa suddenly remembered, in her past life, Reina had deliberately withheld the location change, leaving her scrambling in humiliation. With the advantage of foresight, Misa secured a functioning access card beforehand and coincidentally ran into Suzuki, the company director, in the elevator. At the launch, she boldly predicted that bubble tea would become a future trend, only to be met with ridicule. The client still rejected the proposal. Misa had altered the process, but the outcome remained unchanged. Fate seemed to have its own rules. Some pivotal events were unavoidable, only transferable. For instance, in her past life, she had been scalded by hot water, but this time, Director Suzuki appeared out of nowhere and took the burn for her. The moment when the scumbag had forcibly kissed her was instead replaced by Reina's boyfriend. Misa realized she had to make Reina suffer all the misfortunes meant for her. Thus began a meticulously planned revenge. She accepted Tomoya's marriage proposal, intending to shove him into Reina's arms, forcing her to marry the man who would have been Misa's husband. Staring at her narcissistic, arrogant boyfriend, Misa felt a headache coming on. After all, Reina currently had a handsome, wealthy boyfriend. Why would she ever go for Tomoya? Reina picked up her tray and headed toward their team leader. In her past life, the leader had criticized her, so she retaliated by dumping food on him. Seizing the opportunity, Misa made sure Reina's tray accidentally spilled onto Tomoya instead, creating a chance for the two to interact. Tomoya casually handed his stained clothes to Misa. In the past, she would have dutifully washed them, but now? Not a chance.
なんで？
なんでって？
なんで私に渡してくるの？
だってよ。
自分のスーツでしょ？
In the restroom, Misa helped a coworker, Miku, who was on her period, unexpectedly gaining a new friendship. Miku invited her to dinner that Sunday, but Misa suddenly recalled that Reina had already asked her to go shopping. In her past life, Reina had lured her to a high school reunion under the guise of shopping, leaving her underdressed and humiliated as classmates whispered behind her back. This time, she went shopping with Miku instead, splurging on an elegant dress and transforming herself with the help of a stylist. At the reunion, she stunned everyone, exposing how Reina had spread rumors and isolated her in high school. The school heartthrob, Yudo, publicly humiliated Reina before storming out into the rain, just as Suzuki arrived to shield Misa with an umbrella. Reina witnessed the scene and immediately broke up with her boyfriend, then staged a dramatic fall into Suzuki's arms. Yudo later arranged to meet Misa, but Reina, ever persistent, tagged along, offering a fake apology for her high school pranks. Misa pretended to forgive her, necessary for her plan to proceed. Misa repeatedly caught Suzuki and Miku acting intimately, yet he still flirted with her. Unable to take it anymore, she finally snapped.
どれだけクズなんですか。次々10試合に手を出して、私は3番目 ?4 番目 ?567? 一体何人いるんですか。
落ち着いてください。
女性のお尻ばかり追いかけてないで、ちゃんと仕事をしてください。こんなこと続けてたら部長、クズでド変態なハイエナですよ。
Suzuki had no choice but to confess Miko was his sister. Apologizing immediately, Misa reconciled with him, and the two shared grapes together.
初めに上から食べると最初はとびきり甘くて、でもだんだん甘みが薄まっていく。
He said, becoming the light in her darkest moments. Of course, Reina saw this too. Feigning a foot injury, she hopped into Suzuki's car, spilling rumors about Misa's mother's infidelity and claiming Misa was getting close to Yuto. She played the victim, lamenting how her boyfriend had abandoned her. But Suzuki wasn't fooled. He even demanded she pay for the chocolates she had deliberately ruined.
あなたが恋に階段の上から落として破損させたチョコレート50個、会社にしっかり弁償してくださいね。
Furious, Reina jumped out of the car, grabbing his collar and declaring war.
くそ野郎。
To Misa, watching from behind, it looked like they were kissing until Suzuki quickly cleared up the misunderstanding.
していません。江坂さんとキスしていません。
いやいや、
位置的にそう見えたのかもしれませんが、していません。絶対にしていません。200% していません。江坂さんに興味がないと伝えました。そしたらこの距離でクソ野郎と言われました。笑い事じゃありません。
Misa deliberately flaunted her relationship in front of Reina, stoking her jealousy, then arranged opportunities for Reina and Tomoya to be alone. Greedy as ever, Reina took the bait, seducing Tomoya behind Misa's back. She even convinced Tomoya that Misa was entangled with two other men. Tomoya's true nature surfaced. He hit Misa in public, only to apologize the next day, booking the dream wedding home she had once longed for. But Misa was determined to break up. She personally canceled the purchase contract. When Suzuki learned about this from his sister, he rushed to Misa's side, rescuing her from a hallucinatory episode.
もう絶対にまぶたを死なせない。
It turned out Suzuki had also reincarnated. In his past life, he had watched helplessly as Misa died. Though he exposed Tomoya and Reina's crimes, it was too late. This time, he vowed to protect her at all costs. To keep her plan on track, Misa pretended to reconcile with Tomoya and leaked the news to Reina, provoking her into seeking Tomoya out again, which she did.
なんだと思う？ミサの部屋のキー。夜景がすっごく綺麗に見えるんだって。でも真面目なミサは残業中。このシチュエーション、やばいほど興奮すると思わない？
Heartbroken, Misa drank with Suzuki at a bar, eventually falling asleep as he confessed his feelings. Tomoya's cryptocurrency investments crashed, leaving him unable to afford the house down payment. To ensure Reina and Tomoya moved into their new home, Misa offered to cover the down payment herself. Days later, at the Meet the Parents dinner, Misa showed up in garish makeup and an outrageous outfit, rejecting every unreasonable demand from Tomoya's mother before storming out.
じゃあ私がどうやって仕事をし家事をし智也さんのご飯を作り子供まで産むんですか？あ、お母様が家にヘルパーさんでも雇ってくださるんですか？
どれだけ怠けた子なの。結婚したら女はみんなそうしているでしょ。
それって化石時代の価値観だと思います。
Reina, ever the opportunist, appeared, her beauty and poise instantly winning over Tomoya's mom. At work, Tomoya came to apologize, but Misa loudly exposed his affair with Reina in front of everyone. The scandal spread like wildfire, compounded by Reina's professional blunders, leading to her dismissal. Desperate, Reina begged Misa to intervene, but Misa refused, even hinting she might reconcile with Tomoya. Panicked, Reina called Tomoya's mother. Her joy was short-lived. Her new mother-in-law forced her into a tacky wedding dress and a ceremony straight out of a discount catalog, with a groom who did nothing. Furious and humiliated, Reina sobbed to Misa, who, terrified she might cancel the wedding, promised to invite co-workers and even give a speech. On the big day, Misa delivered her blessings.
結婚おめでとう。そして本当にありがとう。
Afterward, Suzuki took her out for a celebratory meal, but with no tables available on Christmas Eve, he brought her to his home instead. There, Misa noticed the turtle she had often visited in college. Suzuki had saved it. The Christmas tree she had liked online was also there. Unable to hold back any longer, Suzuki kissed her. Realizing Misa had blocked her, Reina finally understood the entire scheme when she saw Misa and Suzuki together. She remembered the last line of Misa's wedding speech, the one the microphone hadn't picked up.
私が捨てたゴミを拾ってくれて。
Enraged, Reina threw away her wedding ring and began stalking Misa, discovering she had paid Tomoya's down payment while his crypto investments were worthless. Drunk and laughing hysterically, Reina admitted she wasn't even pregnant. Overhearing, Tomoya's mother fainted. Misa helped a female supervisor catch her cheating husband, only for the woman to be diagnosed with stomach cancer. Misa realized she might be taking Misa's place. Provoked by Reina, Tomoya attacked Misa, trying to strangle her until Suzuki intervened. While treating her wounds, Misa confessed her rebirth and the supervisor's situation. Suzuki devised a plan. He left Misa, arranging a hospital transfer for the supervisor. Early detection meant there was still hope. He instructed Yudo to keep an eye on Reina and, should anything happen to him, to give his shares and savings to Misa. Investigating Suzuki's schedule on his computer, Misa discovered he had also reincarnated. He had left to confront Tomoya, intending to die with him. Tomoya, armed with a fruit knife, went to meet Suzuki, while Reina, thinking he was going to kill Misa, confessed everything at his mother's bedside, only for the woman to wake up and hear. As she reached for the call button, Reina struck her.
お母さんじゃない。
In his past life, Suzuki had died in a bridge accident while escorting Misa's ashes. Now he was ready to die with Tomoya until Misa appeared, stopping him. Hearing her heartfelt confession, he abandoned his suicidal resolve. Reina, meanwhile, kidnapped Misa's grandmother. Confronting her alone, Misa fought back, nearly strangled before Suzuki arrived. Reina fled, leaving Tomoya stranded in the snow. At a convenience store, his mother called, urging him to kill Reina for her life insurance, a 1 billion yen payout. He began sweet-talking Reina again, but she saw through him, tampering with his brakes and luring him onto the highway.
思い出したの。結婚するとき、お母さんに強引に勧められて、高額の生命保険に入らされたことを。お母さんの入れ知恵？借金チャラにしたいもんね。私を旅行に連れ出して保険金殺人か。あとこれも先に謝っとく。昨日の夜ね、私のお友達が智也くんちのガレージに忍び込んだの。は？その車、ブレーキいじっといてあげたよ。
Before the crash, Tomoya called Misa, apologizing if given another chance, he'd treat her right. But it was too late. He survived, barely in a coma. When Suzuki received Reina's call, he prepared to die for Misa again. She demanded he bring Misa to a hotel, but fearing for her safety, he went alone with the police. Meanwhile, Misa, attending a funeral, was kidnapped by Reina's accomplice. In the chaos, Suzuki collided with Reina, disguised as a waitress. Shaking off the police, they drove to a remote area. Reina ordered Suzuki to kiss her, but as he leaned in, he choked her instead. Stabbing him, she fled in the car. Misa was trapped in a Ferris wheel cabin. Reina declared her entire existence had revolved around tormenting Misa. Without her, life had no purpose. They would die together. The control room operator locked the wheel midair as Suzuki fought him outside. Inside, the two women brawled until, critically injured, Suzuki seized the key. During the struggle, the cabin door burst open. Reina nearly fell, but Misa, despite everything, saved her. Reina, defiant, stood only to throw herself backward, plunging to her death, mirroring Misa's fate a decade prior. Suzuki, bleeding out, slipped into unconsciousness, dreaming of his mother, who urged him to live for himself. Tomoya died, but Suzuki survived. The gears of fate finally realigned. Misa quit her job and opened a dessert shop. 5 years after her rebirth, on the day of her death in her past life, she proposed to Suzuki, truly rewriting her destiny.
私と結婚してください。渡さんと歩いていきたいんです。明日からの未来もずっと一緒に。
I'm Meloview. See you next time.